now. Yep, please start, Lucy. That's great.
Okay, so we're going to sort of go over sort of nutrition and eating healthy in the workplace and sort of the benefits of that. So if we could go on to the first slide.
I will. Let me just get in there. I know I've got to do this, so go.
Thank you. So Public Health England released these figures, and they show that 131 million working days are actually lost each year due to sickness. 31 million of these are due to musculoskeletal conditions, so that's your conditions such as arthritis, osteoporosis, and sarcopenia, so that's the one in your muscles. And actually excess weight, so carrying excess weight can actually make these conditions worse. So obviously managing your weight and getting under a reasonable BMI can benefit these. And if we're looking at issues that are associated with obesity, other conditions such as type 2 diabetes, stress, depression, some cancers, dementia and heart disease, they can all be linked to obesity. So it's not just the case of, I want to lose weight and feel good. It can really benefit your long-term health. So 1 in 4 UK employees are reported to have a physical health condition, with one in 3 of these having a long-term health condition. So that could be so like your type 2 diabetes, your cancers, heart disease, things like that. And then interestingly as well, 1 in 8 are having mental health conditions. So all of these can lead to absence in the workplace. So keeping a healthy workforce is really beneficial. Can we go on to the next slide, please?
We can.
Okay, so what are the benefits to having a healthier workforce? Okay, so your employees are likely to be 3 times more productive because they're going to be feeling good, they're going to be thriving, they're going to be eating well, they're going to feel better. Next point, please. They are 50% less likely to have any injuries. So this could be related to arthritis, if you've got bone conditions, muscle conditions, that kind of thing. They're 5 times more likely to be engaged. So your engagement in workplace activities and projects and things, you're more likely to get them involved. There'll be an increased rate of teamwork and morale in the office, which is what we all want. An unhealthy workforce is likely to have 9 times as many sick days a year as well, and job satisfaction can actually be improved when you are a bit healthier. So it just goes to show that poor diet and physical inactivity are among the top causes of ill health, which can then negatively impact on our working lives. So when we're feeling healthy, we're more productive, we take less time off sick. So it's well within a business's best interest to support the health of its staff, because on average we spend about 1/3 of our waking hours at work, and 1/3 of our meals are actually consumed there as well. So it's really important for workplaces to encourage good nutrition. So good nutrition, this is kind of the definition that I've kind of come up with. So when your body is able to get all the nutrients, vitamins and minerals that it needs to work its best and thrive. So you want to have the right energy balance, and this comes with a good level of nutrition. So this will help you get through the day. So even if it's just getting to and from work, being more productive. And there's not actually one single food that gives you all that you need. So you've got to have a good variety there. So your carbs, your fats, your proteins. So that brings me on quite nicely to Eat Well guides. So having a well-balanced diet is really, really important to eating healthy. Fortunately, there's not one food that is a superfood as such. So you want to get a well-balanced, well-rounded diet. And this will help maintain your healthy body weight and improve positive well-being. And as well as reducing sort of coronary heart disease, strokes, obesity, certain cancers. So these Eat Well guides are a tool that the government actually came up with. So these are the recommendations that they have to formulate plates and diets and stuff. So this is quite a good visual tool to help illustrate the types and proportions of food that are needed to get that healthy, well-balanced diet. So on the left, you can see the Eat Well guide, and that is a meat-based version. So you've got your chicken, your fish, and your dairy in there. And then this year they actually released the vegan Eat Well guide, which is really good because there's a lot of vegan, plant-based people, and it's nice to kind of have that option to look at that. So it's got the differences are just your protein, so getting plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, and then your dairy is sort of your fortified versions instead of just your dairy versions. So this could be quite a good visual aid to have printed off for maybe putting in a kitchen or an eating area, so it gets people familiar with it. So sort of, because it's quite a good visual tool, they could just sort of use the section. So you've got your vegetables, your carbohydrates, your proteins, and then sort of makes them sort of rethink. You've got your fats on the outside, so it's quite a good visual tool to have displayed. Can we go on to the next slide, please? Can we have the next slide, please? Thank you. Yeah, so nutrition doesn't actually just stop with food. It works with so many other areas and other lifestyle factors. So having poor nutrition can actually impact so many other areas. So if you're deprived of sleep, this can really negatively impact a worker's performance and their overall productivity. And in terms of nutrition, this will really impact their food choices as well. They'll be more likely to go for unhealthy foods to satisfy cravings. A lot of our brain is actually made up of fat. So when you're deprived and you've not rested your brain enough, your brain will actually crave fattier foods to help satisfy it. In terms of stress, a lot of people, when they are feeling stressed, they'll grab the sweets, grab the biscuits. It's just getting that sugary hit to kind of satisfy the cravings and sort of calm them down a little bit. So if they're feeling a little bit stressed at work, then this can negatively impact their nutrition. So, and this can also be related to their mood as well. So having a healthier diet can help improve mood. People will feel a lot better, and then this links again to sleep. So these are all linked, and this will all help prevent the long-term diseases. Okay, so these are just a couple of the things that I've sort of going to share with you about becoming healthier and being able to manage your weight. So this is a big one. So carbohydrates. As soon as you want to lose weight, it's so common for people to just say, I'm going to cut out carbohydrates. They are demonized so much. But too much of any food can actually make you gain weight. So it's all about portions. So it's again going back to that Eat Well guide and looking at the portions, but then it's looking at the types of carbohydrates that you're having as well. So because they're our main source of energy in the body, you want to make sure that you've got a good level of them. So carbs are actually broken down into 3 categories. So you've got your sugars, your starches, and your fibers. So sugars you want to obviously cut down. So that will be your sweets, your cakes, things like that. So you want to cut them down as much as you can, but sticking with fruit, because that's a natural sugar and you want to keep that in your diet. So you'll have things like the fiber on the skins on that one, so you want to keep them in. So you want to increase the fiber types. So they're really good for your gut. They're really good for your digestion and can help keep you fuller for longer. And it's been shown that if you have a good gut health, then it can actually be linked to your brain. So your brain and your gut have actually got a good link. So if you keep your gut healthy, it'll help keep your brain healthy. So adding things like whole grains in. So you want like brown rice, you want the skins off vegetables. So eating a potato, but eating the skin, that's a really good level of fiber for you. So you want to make sure that about 1/3 of your diet is made up of your starchy carbohydrates. So that's your potatoes, your bread, your rice, your pasta. But you want to go for the whole grain versions rather than the white refined versions. So if you've got say rice, having a brown rice option, I know it takes longer to cook, but it's a better option for health-wise. If you're going to have, say, chips, maybe bake them instead of frying them. So getting that healthier option and keeping the skin on. So you've got the fiber, and having things like fruit around the office, because they're obviously classed as carbs, and that's a really good option as a snack for people. Lean protein. So having lean protein can help with weight management because it can help with overeating. So it reduces your level of the hunger hormone ghrelin, which helps to keep you fuller for longer. So some good options for that could be chicken, turkey, seafood. If you want to go plant-based, sort of beans, soy. You've got eggs, nuts, seeds. So having that, like focusing a lot of your diet on those would be really beneficial. So focusing on a good level of lean protein in each meal, even if it is just a simple meal like beans with whole grain toast. That is a really good, well-balanced meal because you've got your carbohydrates and you've got your lean protein. In terms of fat, this is another one that's also demonized. So having a healthy fat option can help lower cholesterol and reduce the risk of heart disease. So you want to swap your saturated fats to unsaturated options. So you want to swap things like, your oils. So you want to go for more like olive oils and rapeseed oils rather than going for vegetable oils and palm oils, coconut oils and things. So maybe sort of swapping snacks to having sort of a bag of nuts. That's a good level of fat. Even things like yogurts with the fat from the dairy. So there's been some research that's shown that fat from the milk products is good at increasing the good HDL cholesterol levels, and this can help protect heart health. So really beneficial to have fats in your diet as well. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so this is a really, really simple one. So drinking plenty of liquids is something that people really reject, especially in the colder days. So now it's getting a bit cooler. Obviously in the summer, loads of people were drinking water, but now it's kind of dipping a little bit. So 60% of your body is actually made up of water, and 75% of your brain is actually composed of water. So being hydrated can help keep your joints, your eyes, your skin, and your digestion healthy. But being dehydrated can cause headaches, tiredness, can actually contribute to weight gain because your body sometimes can't tell the difference between feeling dehydrated and feeling hungry. So if you're feeling a bit hungry, say half an hour to an hour after you've eaten, you could just think, maybe I'm just a bit thirsty. So having a drink of water can help rather than eating again when you're really actually not that hungry. This can also, if you're dehydrated, can also make you struggle with concentration because you can get sort of a foggy brain. So encouraging employees to drink at least 8 glasses of water throughout the day is really beneficial. Sort of providing them with easy accessible water, sort of water coolers would be really good. And then I know a lot of people don't like just plain water, so providing sort of a sugar-free squash option. So this can help encourage people to drink more water. Eating mindfully, that is something that is quite a simple thing to do. So if you're sat, it's so easy in the workplace to just sort of sit at your desk and think, oh, I'll just work through lunch, it's fine, I'm too busy. But then your brain is not registering what you're eating. So you're not always taking in, okay, I've eaten a big meal, because your mind is on something else. So being aware of what you're eating and taking time to sit down and eat, rather than sort of eating on the go and just sort of grabbing a sandwich on the way, can really help with weight management. So having sort of a distraction-free area to eat lunch, so even like a canteen or like just like a little table and chairs, encouraging people to move away from their desk at least for 20 minutes just to go and eat their lunch is really beneficial. And that can also help with their productivity as well. Reducing caffeine. So having a coffee can make you feel a lot more alert and can help with your tiredness levels. But long-term effects, this can also affect your sleep. So if you're having caffeine after lunchtime, it can still be in your body by the time you're going to sleep. So it can affect your sleep levels, which can then obviously affect the next day, and you're feeling more tired, you're eating more snacks and things like that. It can also, having less caffeine can help lower your blood pressure, can improve your mood, and can increase anxiety. So providing decaf options to staff, especially for afternoon drinks, would be really beneficial. Okay, so how can this be implemented in the workplace? So if you've got canteens, simple things like baking food instead of frying. So I know in this country especially, Fish and Chips Friday is such a popular option. So maybe baking the fish and baking the chips rather than frying them gives that healthier option. And having healthier snack options. So you've got your nuts, your fruits, your popcorn, things like that. So people are still sort of snacking, just you're providing the healthier options. So having water tanks available throughout the office, this then goes back to the hydration option. So this also encourages walking and water consumption, which can help concentration levels as well. So having leftovers for lunch, this is something I always try and encourage my clients to do. So if you're making dinner, make a slightly bigger portion and box some of it up straight away. So then you know you've got a healthy meal that you're enjoying because you've made it, you know what's in it, and you haven't got to then think, oh my God, what am I going to have for lunch? You've got a nice warm meal that you know is a balanced meal, and it saves on food waste as well. Yeah, so this one, if you've got a local fast food restaurant near where you work, and a lot of employees do go there, try and encourage them to go to a healthier cafe nearby instead. So I know a lot of companies sort of, if you work with the cafes and say, oh, I work nearby, they're quite, if you're encouraging employees to go there, they are quite happy to give discounts to staff members. So that could be beneficial just to try to get them to go for the healthier options. So rather than going for like your KFC, your McDonald's, you're going to go for the healthier cafes that got your sandwiches, your salads, your jacket potatoes, that kind of thing. Providing fruit bowls for staff to grab a snack from is really beneficial. So if you've got a bowl of fruit there, people will think, oh, okay, I'll have some grapes or I'll have an apple, but they wouldn't necessarily go, I'm going to go to the shop to go and buy an apple. So having it there will encourage them to eat more fruit. Vending machine snacks. Now, we know vending machines are notorious for your unhealthy snacks. So your chocolate bars, your crisps. So swapping them out for cereal bars, nuts, popcorn, that kind of thing would be really beneficial. Okay, and engaging an expert to support the delivery of healthy eating across the workforce. So that is having someone like Healthy Lifestyles to try and help you kind of bring the healthier side into the workplace. Okay, so there are a lot of national campaigns that could be really good to kind of get employees involved in. So you've got Veganuary. So I think 400,000 people took part in it this year. So that's the month of January and going completely vegan. The vegan diet's got a lot of health benefits because you can get a wide variety of nutrients. You're more likely to eat more fruit and veg, so that's really good. It's linked to a lower risk of heart disease. That could be due to the fruits, veg, legumes, the fibre. And there is a 75% lower risk in developing blood pressure developing a high blood pressure when you are a vegan. This can also help reduce cholesterol as well. So that's a really good campaign to get employees involved in, especially after Christmas. Everyone's feeling a little bit rubbish. Everybody's kind of overeaten. So it's a really, really good campaign to get involved in. But obviously, if people find that too much, then you could just implement things like Meat-Free Monday. So this is just one day a week cutting out meat. It was launched by Paul and Stella McCartney, I think. So it's a campaign to raise awareness of the environmental impact of meat products. So it's encouraging people to improve their health by having one plant-based day a week. So you could include plant-based options in canteens and cafes on Mondays. So even just putting sort of corn products. So you've got the meat alternative, so having like a corn chili. So people could just try it rather than committing to the whole month of like Veganuary. Stoptober, so that's one that's coming up really soon. So that's the national NHS scheme to help encourage people to stop smoking in October. So because it runs for 28 days, we find that people that can remain smoke-free for 28 days are 5 times more likely to quit for good. So this has had 1.9 million people that have managed to quit through the campaign so far. And it's a really, really good sort of way to encourage people to stop smoking. We've also got British Nutrition Foundation. They have a healthy eating week every year. They've actually done 2 this year. So they did one for healthy eating at home. And then next week, they're doing one for healthy eating. So it's a national campaign. It's a dedicated week focused on key health messages and promoting healthy habits. So they've got things like eating more whole grains, varying your vegetables, moving more, being mind kind, getting active, and encouraging people to eat together to make eating sort of more of a community thing, so more with like your family and your households rather than just all sitting in front of the TV and eating. So that's actually free. You can get free resources from them, and there's posters and things you could put up in the office to encourage the different health messages. And then Couch to 5K. So this was started by Public Health England. It's a running plan for beginners. So it's got 3 runs for 9 weeks, and it mixes running and walking, and it's like for complete beginners. Over lockdown, there was a 92% increase in downloads of the app. And I'll admit that I did it, and it was a really, really good program. It really pushes you. So at the start of the plan, you run for 30 seconds, and then by the end of it, you can run for 30 minutes. It's brilliant. So all of these campaigns are really good to promote to the staff. And it could even be more successful if you make it sort of a wellness challenge between employees, because obviously everybody's got a bit of a competitive side, haven't they? But you've got to remember these are short-term approaches and not long-term changes. So it's important to try and keep the momentum up and keep the encouragement up with these ones. So, so as Jenny said at the start, I'm from Healthy Lifestyles in Coventry. So what we do, we do one-to-one coaching for up to 12 weeks for clients. So it's completely personalised to each person, because obviously everybody's different. Everybody has different health conditions, different commitments, different food likes and dislikes. So we do a lot of weight management. We help people stop smoking, people get active, and reducing alcohol. So we have a platform called Best You, and this is really good to sort of track your progress throughout the 12 weeks. And there's a lot of information packs on there about sort of healthier eating, the benefits of stopping smoking, how you can get more active, and the benefits of sort of cutting down your alcohol. And we do actually go into workplaces as well. We're quite happy to sort of assist with any menu planning or any changes, sort of making your workplaces a little more healthier if you would like help with that. So yeah, I think that's everything. I've seen a couple of questions pop through. I don't know how to actually view the questions now. Jenny, if you know.
Yeah, I do. What I'll do is I'll actually read those out to you.
Okay.
So,
I don't know whether.
Okay. Taruna has put, I thought coconut oil was good for you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
In small doses, yeah, it is good for you, but you don't want to overconsume it, especially if you are looking at it in terms of weight management. So it's quite a high calorific oil. So you want to go more for your seeded oils. So you'd probably go for more rapeseed oil and olive oil. I think rapeseed oil has got a higher smoke point, so you can cook with that, whereas olive oil can sort of be broken down if you cook it too high. So olive oil is better for like dressings and things, but coconut oil in small amounts is okay, but I would go towards more the seeded oils.
Okay. Karen has asked, do you have any tips for home workers? Because I was going to say that myself, because obviously a lot of what you're talking about is things in the office. Obviously, a lot of us are still working from home and are not likely to go back to the office anytime soon. So have you got any further information or tips and things that people can do at home rather than in the office?
Yes. So in terms of meals, I would say keep with the preparation. So trying not to overeat and limit your snacking. So simple one, if you don't want to overeat on the biscuits, don't buy the biscuits. It's sort of, if they're not there, you're not going to eat them. If you're going to go for meals, it's easier to now, I don't know about you guys, but I quite like having lunchtime and preparing a meal rather than eating out of a Tupperware box. Even just making something like an omelette, so it's a nice fresh meal, adding in some veg. It takes 10 minutes to cook. It's a really healthy, well-balanced meal. Keeping up with lots of breaks. So even just at lunchtime, going for a quick walk, just trying to get away from the desk. It's so easy when you're at home to sort of just sit and work all the time, especially in the evenings. You just sort of see it pop up and you think, oh, I'll just answer that email. But that can actually interfere and can make you feel a little bit more stressed. It can raise your cortisol levels, which can affect your sleep, because that then suppresses your melatonin levels, which affects your sleep. So having strict work hours, I think is really beneficial. In terms of healthy eating, I would just focus on getting a portion of lean protein in with your meals, as many vegetables as you can, and then sort of a handful of carbohydrates, even if that's like a slice of toast or a handful of rice. So just creating like a well-balanced plate.
Yeah, I think what you could potentially do as well is give recipes to people that are at home, that perhaps you could do a bit of a recipe swap with people. So I know that some organisations, I've got one of them here, that have actually been doing sort of cookery demonstrations to staff, and the staff have gone away and had a go at that. Again, obviously it helps people who are not sure about what a healthy meal is. Okay. Do you have any tips for good websites to get healthy recipes? Obviously, that's coming on to that one.
Good recipes.
I would have suggested something like NHS Choices. That's got quite a lot on there. I know it all sort of links in with Couch to 5K, but the NHS Choices also does a 12-week weight loss program, which is obviously free. You don't have to pay any money to take part, and there are obviously recipes on there. Oh, good. Somebody's put there, all day I think about food is a good low carb one. Thanks for the tip, Harper. Okay, I mean, I can probably forward on some more and put some in the LinkedIn group for healthy recipes. I don't know if there are any sites that you would recommend particularly. Do they have them on Best You?
They're not on Best You. We've got a couple on our social media. We've sort of been doing sort of fakeaways. So rather than having takeaways, it's sort of the healthier alternative. I think we've had like beef stir fries and things on there, like Chinese and curries and stuff. So I would definitely encourage sort of trying to, rather than buying a takeaway, sort of trying to recreate it at home while we've got more time at home.
Yeah.
Sort of
Are you able to share those on our LinkedIn site? Can you pop them on there as well? That'd be really great if you could share them with everybody. I'd also like to congratulate Sarah Brown. I took up Couch to 5K last year at the age of 65. Well done. And thanks for telling us your age as well. One of the best things I did, felt full of energy as a result. That's fantastic. Well done. Well done. Karen's put some daily cooking sessions on as well. Karen, can you share that in the LinkedIn group? That'd be really great. And Joe, do you want to join us? Joe's actually just started working over in Warwickshire. Now, obviously, Lucy is Coventry based and works with Coventry companies. If you can switch your mic on, Joe, or pop yourself on your camera, you can introduce yourself to our group, because Joe is the lady to go to if you're looking for any help in Warwickshire. Because we cover Coventry and Warwickshire, obviously Lucy only covers Coventry, but Joe works for Warwickshire County Council, and obviously she can put people in the right direction for Warwickshire. So I don't know, do you want to show yourself, Joe, so people can see who you are?
I can see myself on my camera, but I don't know if anybody else can.
I can't see you. I can now. I can. It's a bit of a time delay. Hi, Joe. That's great. And I don't know if there's anything you want to add from Warwickshire that might be different to what Lucy's mentioned, or is it pretty similar as to what's available?
Pretty similar, to be honest. And I think, coming from a very similar background to what Lucy's done, I would highly recommend it. I think it's a fantastic service, especially for businesses to link into. So yeah, I would say if anybody's out there and thinking, what can we do for ourselves and our employees, definitely get hold of Lucy and the team and get somebody in and sorting you all out. It's a fantastic service.
That's fantastic. Harpal has asked, Joe, is there a link to the programme? Is it online? Now, Harpal, are you based in Coventry, or because it would be Lucy if it's Coventry, but it'd be Joe if it's Warwickshire, or you're Bedworth, so you're Warwick. That would come under you, wouldn't it, Joe?
Yeah. Is it the link to the programme, the diabetes one that I've just posted up on? If it is, then it is on the website. You literally get to Diabetes UK and it's available on there.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, can you pop that in our LinkedIn group then? Because then Harpal can pick it up from there, I think. There's been some of the good suggestions from people about different, like the Hairy Bikers cookbooks and Slimming World recipes. I mean, the only thing with Slimming World, obviously you have to pay to go to that, same with Weight Watchers. That's why we just suggest the NHS one. We're not saying that Slimming World doesn't work or anything like that. It's just that obviously if people are perhaps limited financially, there's no cost to the NHS one, is there? Okay, I don't think, if anybody wants to raise their hand if you've got any other questions or pop them in the meeting chat, I can make sure that, because we've got Lucy for another sort of, at least another 20 minutes. So Yeah. Oh, if you Google Slimming World recipes, you can get them for free. Yeah, there's lots. There's probably lots more out there. And please, if you're in the groups, please share this information, because you never know, it might be useful for some of the other people that are in the group. I don't think. Is there any more questions that anybody has? I don't think. Can you see the chat at all, Lucy? No.
I think I can see it sort of popping up.
All right, Harpal saying, was this session recorded as I missed the first half? Yes, Harpal, it is being recorded, and it'll be posted on the LinkedIn group and our Facebook page after the meeting has ended. The group name for LinkedIn and Facebook is Workplace Wellbeing Award - Thrive at Work. So you should be able to find it. If not, if you just contact me, I can give you the full information on that. Okay, what I'm going to do is send you all an evaluation form. If you could please fill that in, and then I can obviously forward the slides to you as well following this meeting. But the evaluation form obviously helps us to shape our sort of programme going forward with the sort of webinars and events that we run. If there's no more questions, I'll end the meeting then, unless there's anything else you want to say, Lucy.
No, I think I've sort of covered everything, I think. But thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. I shall stop recording now.